Alrighty, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Ball Knower Podcast, Sports and More. I'm your host, as always, David Miller, joined today by a very pumped up, it seems, Andrew Watkins. Andrew, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. I actually got some sleep last night for the first time in a very long time.
Okay. Is that why you're so bouncy?
No, I'm faking it. I'm
Oh,
faking it now.
oh. Well, why? What is the point of faking it? I don't understand what is happening.
Hey, I'm an entertainer. That's how it goes.
You're an entertainer. Okay. Well, Mr. Entertainer, why don't you kick us off? Wait, no. First, I gotta ask you a question. I almost
Yeah,
forgot.
of course.
I almost forgot. Andrew, how do you
Yes.
sleep at night?
Poorly.
Okay, good
And
answer.
not enough.
Okay, valid. That wasn't
Yeah.
actually my question. I just
Oh.
wanted to do something dramatic with this shitty
Yeah,
little
this
flashlight. No, God, what do I want to ask you? I don't have a question. I didn't come up with one before the recording. This is not good.
Ooh.
Uh, who is your favorite soccer player ever?
Ever?
Yeah.
I actually updated my list earlier.
He has a list. Okay.
I do. I remember making it a very long time ago because we talked about it.
Okay.
So I just got to find it now. I have to look through all my other notes. One of them says get a sword. So oh, this dude named Joao Felix. Because he's on my favorite team now, and he's a super young striker dude that's supposedly really good. But in his first game, he got a red card.
That's bad. Even
That's
I know
not
that's
good.
bad.
Yeah, that's not good. I
Yeah.
think it's funny whenever a new person joins a team and they're like, "Oh my god, this person's really good," and then the first thing that they do before like scoring a goal or anything is that they get a red card. I always think it's funny.
So that's your favorite player of all time.
Yeah,
Of all time.
because the way that soccer works is like a lot of the players on my favorite team play for England, you
Okay.
know, and I don't like England, so I don't like a lot of the players on my
Okay.
own team.
Valid.
I'd say probably all time is Christian Pulisic, of course, because
I don't know who that is.
are you kidding me? You're a red-blooded American and you don't know who Christian Pulisic is?
If you tell me his number, I'd probably know.
10, I think.
I already forgot the guy's name. I learned one American soccer player during the World Cup, and I already forgot his name.
It's him.
Is it? Is that the one?
Yeah, Captain America.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I do know who he is. That's right. Okay. Yeah, that was the one I learned. I
Yeah.
already forgot. That tells you how much I care.
Yeah.
Don't worry, here in, what'll it be now? 4 years until the World Cup starts again?
Yeah. Yeah, 4 years until the World Cup starts again. Yeah.
Okay, I can talk again. My grandmother was in the room doing laundry, and now she's not. So I can talk and she won't think I'm speaking to her. Because she looked over at me while I was talking to you, and I was like, oh shit. And then she came around and she was like, you got your hat on? I was like, yeah. Yeah, I got my hat on. It's very wholesome interaction.
Yeah, I got my hat on.
Yeah. But anyways, now that we're done speaking, oh shit, I just dropped my phone. Now that we're done talking about my current living arrangement, I do have another question for you.
Oh boy.
Why do you want a sword?
Cuz it's a sword.
What are you going to do with a sword?
I want to like be in the woods on like a log with my shirt off, and I want to be like practice like slicing, you know, like how they do in the movies sometimes.
Oh my god. He thinks
The,
he's a real fucking cold-blooded samurai over here, ladies and gentlemen.
the real reason is I think like it'd be such a crazy flex to be like, no, I'm severely skilled with this sword.
Hey Andrew, you want to go? I don't know, what is it high schoolers do nowadays on a Friday night? You want to go to the football game on Friday? Nah, man,
No.
I gotta go practice my
So
swordsmanship.
it's my swordmanship. Yes. Can't. Gotta practice my swordsmanship.
Andrew, there's a big game this weekend. We need you to start. Can't. I've got a swordsman tournament. Start entering, like, I was gonna say the All Valley, but that's fucking Karate Kid. I don't know, a fencing competition. You'll become a professional fencer.
Yeah.
That's what you'll
How
do with
hard
it.
could it be? How hard could
How
it
hard
be?
could it be? It's not like you need like cat-like reflexes and a super super sharp mind. Not saying you don't have a super super sharp mind,
And good
but
footwork and good,
yeah, gotta be really coordinated.
yeah, really coordinated.
You just gotta be sick as fuck. That's what you gotta be.
Yeah, you gotta be a
That's what it takes.
cold-hearted killer,
You
cold-blooded
gotta
killer.
you gotta have that dog in your defense. And no offense, I don't know if you do.
Ah,
All right, so now that we're 6.5 minutes into this, after rambling about a whole lot of nothing, Andrew told me before we started recording that he had things he wanted to talk about, which is great because all I have is football playoffs. So we'll get to those in a moment. Andrew, what is it you want to talk about?
yeah.
The floor is yours.
The first thing.
Okay.
We talked about this before the podcast.
Yeah.
Bunch of videos came out about Shannon Sharpe. He was sitting courtside at a Lakers game, and
Mm-hmm.
it was the Grizzlies Lakers game, and like he got into like almost physical altercations with multiple people, like another fan and like Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bain.
And John
And
Morant's dad.
yeah. And after the game, I think he goes up to LeBron and daps him up and says, like, I always got your back, Bron. And I just want to know what you think about that.
I mean, first of all, I've seen the video like 100 times by now, but I have no clue what exactly what exactly the context is of that, why that happened. But I guess he's got, like, maybe somebody was talking shit about LeBron or somebody fouled LeBron pretty hard. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I know NBA players are like super fucking built and in great shape, but Shannon could probably still beat some of their asses. Like, let's be real here. Shannon's still fucking huge. Okay. So maybe he could have done something. Maybe if it escalated into a fucking Malice in the Palace 2.0, you know, maybe Shannon could have fucked some people up, but I don't like that he was doing it in the name of LeBron James. Like, that's some next level dick eating. I'm not gonna lie.
Like
That
LeBron
is
would need help.
insane. Yeah, well, I don't know. I trust Shannon in a fight more than I trust
I was gonna
LeBron.
say, yeah, Shannon's about 15 inches wider than LeBron is,
And
and
also
stands
was
at
probably willing to throw a punch. If you've noticed, anytime LeBron's ever been faced with like contact on the court, he kind of shies away or lets people get between him and whoever wants to fight him, which, like,
Isaiah
you
Stewart.
know, you can chalk that up to him being smart, not wanting to get it thrown out of the game. Sure, whatever. I think LeBron's kind of afraid of fighting anybody, which, I can't really talk shit about LeBron being a tough guy. I'm a fucking overweight 19-year-old with a podcast. So, when it comes down to it, one of us is a multi-billionaire, the other one is me. So I'm not gonna like call LeBron a pussy or anything, but I'm not gonna not call LeBron a pussy,
Yeah.
So I think it's some next level dick riding. That's what I think it is. Truth be told, those are my exact thoughts.
I forgot to say after the game, Dylan Brooks was in an interview, and he said that he called Shannon Sharpe a nobody.
Dylan Brooks did?
Dylan Brooks did.
Shannon Sharpe's a fucking Hall of Fame tight end. Who the fuck is Dylan Brooks?
Yeah,
I literally only
3-time
know that man exists because of 2K.
2K and the Danny Green comparisons.
Right. Right. Yeah, when we were talking about the fucking the player evolution last week. Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
only reason I know who Dylan Brooks is.
it's actually crazy.
Yeah, like in the, in the fact that he almost fought Jaw's dad. Like, again, no disrespect. He would fucking maul Jaw's dad. Jaw's dad looked like a little dude.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't pick a fight with Shannon Sharpe, personally.
of course not. He like from the normal camera angle of the broadcast, he takes up like the entire corner 3 location where he was
Right.
sitting. He like I know he's jacked, but in that video, he just looks literally like a cartoon character. He looks like
Oh,
Wilson
yeah.
Fisk in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
He is kind of built like Fisk. Like what Fisk would actually be like.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I honestly I didn't know the whole thing was him defending LeBron's honor.
Yeah.
So that's pretty embarrassing. You know, that is embarrassing. That is a grown-ass man defending a basketball player's honor from the sideline.
Yeah.
Like originally, you know, the video it starts, I think Steven Adams is the first one to come over. I thought maybe he was running his mouth to Steven Adams. Like called him a punk or a flopper or something, and Steven Adams was like, "Fuck you, I'm coming over." Which like would have been less bad. Still, you know, it's heckling. I can get more behind heckling than I can defending LeBron's honor. I can't get over that. I'm sorry. He was defending LeBron's honor.
Yeah. It's a
Oh,
little crazy.
fucking Shannon the cock gobbler Sharpe. That's what he is to me from here on. That's insane.
Oh
That
my
is insane, dude. Grown ass, what? Shannon's probably pushing 50 at this point.
I don't know if he's 50. I think he's young.
He's not that young. He's like mid to late 40s.
Oh, he's 54. Holy
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god!
Okay.
And the pictures I'm seeing of him, bro, does not look 54. God,
No, he doesn't. I didn't think he was that old either.
I
Holy
thought
shit.
he was like 35, dude. What the frick?
35?
He retired at 35. Whoa.
I was gonna say, wasn't he was playing ball in the 90s?
Oh. Hey man.
I guess it has been a long ass time since the 90s. Okay.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Whoa. We're getting in that weekly. Oh my god, we're so old.
We're old.
Let's back it up.
We're old.
Your old conversation. Let's back it up.
I'm old.
Let's back it up. You're
Mr.
one.
I
You're,
graduate in the spring. Fuck
You're
you.
1 year older than me.
I'm 2 years older than you, son.
Right now, you're 1 year older than me. Okay.
I'll be 2 years older than you in a month. Less than a month.
It's still that time. Still that time of the year.
Yeah, that time of the year, huh? That's
Yeah.
what we're calling it. Okay. All right. You got anything else? You got anything else for me?
Yeah. One other thing. I
Okay.
saw a TikTok. And I think it's actually a very, very interesting idea.
Okay.
Not in the way that the person presented it. I need to turn that back up. But just like in general, I saw somebody on TikTok said that they should replace the WNBA with a professional volleyball league. And I was like,
Okay.
wait a minute. Don't replace the WNBA because there's a lot of funding in that and a lot of investment. But maybe just make a professional volleyball league because that would be heat, in my opinion.
Are there not professional volleyball leagues already?
I think it is just cut off at college. Like,
that sucks.
In terms of like a nationwide professional sport, I think it is cut off.
Okay. So you're trying to go. I see. You want to go big wig.
Like NVL, National
Volleyball League. Yeah. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be cool.
I feel like that'd be very entertaining, considering I like going to high school volleyball games. I'm freaking out because it's like the plays they're making are insane. I can't even imagine it at a professional level.
Yeah. Volleyball's a cool sport.
Yeah.
I really don't like that person was like, let's replace the WNBA. That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's fucked. Like, yeah, I don't know. You might think it's lower quality basketball, but there's still freak athletes that would kick your ass and all that good stuff. And it's still entertaining ball if you watch it. And it would kind of, I don't want to use the word super progressive or like talk about being progressive because I know that'll get people riled up. But like it's very backwards to try to take away a women's league just so they can play a more traditionally feminine sport.
Yeah.
But I mean, adding a pro volleyball league, hell yeah, I'm all for it. I don't have a lot to say about it because I don't have super strong opinions on volleyball, but fuck yeah.
In my I'd say I have a decent amount of volleyball knowledge for somebody that just never played the sport, but I think it'd be fun. Just in general, I feel like it's fun to like the way that people were for like the XFL. They're like, oh, it's a new team. I can follow a whole different story now and not have any guilt for like leaving this past team.
Right.
It'd be kind of cool to do that and like get like new designs for like I just like like when I play 2K, I like doing like my own creative things, and I feel like that'd be cool to see in like a wide scale for a new sport. And I feel like it would be very popular, just in general.
I feel you. Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, I'm all for professional athletes getting a chance, or I guess they wouldn't technically be professionals as of right now, but like high level athletes getting to showcase their talents in any way, shape, or form, especially female athletes, given how overlooked they are, especially in the United States today. So hell yeah. If they could acquire the funding for it and get enough people on board, I think that would be cool. I think that would be really cool. But like I said, I can't really go beyond that because I don't know jack shit about the sport. I don't think I've ever even been to a volleyball game, quite honestly. No, I definitely haven't. I was trying to remember if I went to any in high school, but I didn't. I've never been to a volleyball game. I'm trying to think where my link to my mom played volleyball in high school. That's where my connection is to it. I knew I had one somewhere. I had to search in my memory bank for where my connection was. Yeah. My mom played volleyball in high school, so who knows? Maybe if they would have had a volleyball league back in the day, my mom could have went pro.
Exactly.
And I'd be singing a different tune right now.
She never had the chance.
Never had the chance. That's facts. They were preying on her downfall. But like, I know I'm making a joke out of it, but like genuinely speaking, I do think it would be sick. I think it would be pretty cool. I don't know. Is there anything else you got, Andrew? You seemed pretty excited beforehand, saying you had stuff to bring up.
That's literally it, I think.
That was it? Okay.
Yeah, I was just my excitement for the volleyball league. It feels like it's my own because first of all, I think very specific things about it would be fun, but I feel like explaining that to you would be like bouncing it off a wall,
Go for it.
I feel like I don't know, highlights of it would be cool to watch, of course.
Okay.
And like, I feel like the excitement that you would get from being like, oh my God, we just picked up I'm forgetting the names of all the positions. I'm freaking out. We picked up a new libero. They're really good. I'm very excited.
That's a position in volleyball, a libero?
Yeah, the best passer on the team, allegedly.
Allegedly, okay.
It's supposed to be. So they wear a different uniform. They're not the team captain. They're not.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, they wear a different uniform. And the first time I watched it, I was like, so they're the captain, right? And they're like, no, you idiot.
You're getting berated.
Best passer on the team. I was like, okay. Chillax. Is it a hitter? Is that what it's called?
Mom, what are the positions in volleyball?
I have no idea now. They changed everything.
Oh, they changed everything?
I'm so old that I played old six-man volleyball. Now you got a setter, back, hitter. There's like all different positions now.
Okay. Did that pick up?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a
there you go.
Yeah. The hitter, like I feel like we'd pick up like a 6'7" hitter, and she'd be like a monster, and that'd be cool.
When I was a kid, and now it's very detailed and very
Right.
oriented. It wasn't like that before.
Valid. Did that pick up?
Yeah.
Okay. So they went the reverse of every other major American sport where they're all becoming positionless now, and they started out positionless. Now it's real specific.
Yeah.
Interesting. The more you know.
Yeah, it's cool.
And shout out to my mom for bringing the volleyball knowledge that neither of us have.
The insight. Having two really close friends that play volleyball is not enough. I skipped out on the knowledge part of them talking about volleyball.
I was gonna say I have two really close friends that play soccer, and I don't know jack shit about it. So that's valid. In fact, I have more than two close friends. I think. Well, nowadays it might be different. I don't know. I don't know who friends are anymore.
Oh God!
That's the beauty of becoming an adult.
Woo!
Yeah.
We're diving.
No, I'm not gonna go any further than that. I'm not gonna air dirty laundry. But like you and Ethan, I know for a fact I got. And Daniel plays soccer, didn't
Daniel
he?
plays soccer.
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. I got 3.
Yeah.
I forgot Daniel played soccer for a second. So there you go. I got 3. I have more than I thought.
It's solid.
It's solid. Still not enough to get me to give a shit about the sport. I won't lie though. We went to your playoff game that one time. I went to 2 of them, I think, my senior year. I think it was my senior year. Was it last year or the year before that I went to those games?
That was last year.
Okay, so it was my freshman year of college. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to those, I got hyped as fuck. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
But I was hyped as fuck.
You were at the region final. The region final
Yeah.
was crazy.
Cold as fuck at that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Altitude of like 3,000 feet. Like mid to late November. Yeah, you stood no chance sitting in the crowd there.
Yeah. And I was sitting with some kid that wouldn't shut the fuck up about weed. Because he was one of my friend's friend. And it annoyed the shit out of me. I don't remember the kid's name or even what he looked like. I just remember him talking about getting high somewhere. And I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. But I didn't actually say that because I'm not confrontational.
Yeah, of course not.
Oh my. Anyways, we should move on to football.
Yeah.
So I can talk at the one. No, I'm kidding. You've been watching the playoff games, right?
I've been watching all that I can. I went
Okay.
to I went to
You went to one of the games?
Whoa. My excuse for not watching them is that I went to a theater festival.
Oh, a theater festival.
Yes.
That's valid.
At your school. So
what?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing that happened.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
It was a thing when you were in high school, David.
What are you talking about?
It started when I was in 8th grade.
What are you talking about? The only thing I remember going there for was the fucking tenor bass thing.
The Mountain Maryland Theater Festival. You don't?
Never heard of it.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Which is surprising. No, doesn't ring a bell at all.
That is shocking. I think it may have been. No, you were in theater.
Yeah, I was in theater, and I don't remember this.
Yeah, that's a little shocking. Actually.
Is this like an open thing, or was it an exclusive little club of people at our high school that were like, no, we're the only ones that get to go?
I think it was an open thing.
Okay, yeah, then no one ever told me about it. I don't even think our director told me about that. Or maybe she did and I just wasn't there since I missed so many days in high school.
Maybe that's the case.
That would be a weird fucking coincidence for it to happen for 3 straight years. I guess they didn't have it the one year, right? For COVID, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 out of my 3 years, that would be a weird fucking coincidence. I don't.
She's like, oh, David's not here? Okay.
All right, everybody, here's the information. Don't let him know. He's not allowed.
Yeah, I was at a theater festival. That's why I didn't watch some of the games.
That's valid. Did you watch the trouncing of the New York Giants?
No, I turned that off.
Okay. Yeah, I I didn't pay super close attention to it, but boy,
I mean,
I'm sorry. That look, all I'm saying is Daniel Jones played a really good defense and got his shit rocked. He had like a 50 passer rating. Just didn't look good, period. And I wasn't, like respectfully, I wasn't surprised by it. I really didn't think the Giants stood a whole lot of chance against Philly. Philly is a near perfect football team from top to bottom. And the Giants were on borrowed time. They made it a lot further than anybody thought they would. And credit to Brian Dable for getting them there. But Daniel Jones fell apart, dude.
Yeah.
He really did.
From what I saw, he was just being too desperate with his throws.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he was playing like he was down the entire game, because he really was. But that's not really the way that you would come back from a lead like that. Like, you got to break it down, not trying to take all these explosive plays for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big reason why I think he underperformed, just because he was trying to do the heroics when he really should have been playing simple stuff.
And that's the problem with Daniel Jones. Like, he's great when you have him playing in structure. He's great, or not great, but
mid.
Great is overstating. He's good when you're playing him in structure, and you're basically giving him one read and run situations where he either picks up the first read, finds a receiver wide open over the middle, or takes off running. When you can do all that and you can establish the run, you're good. You can win ball games with him. But if you say, hey, Daniel, we need you to go out there, be a big boy, and make a big play, never going to be able to do it. Yeah. He just doesn't have it in him. And we saw that on full display against Philadelphia, because that's pretty much what they did. They weren't allowing them to run the ball. The run game was not working. And that hurt their ability to set up play action and hurt their ability to get Daniel Jones outside of the pocket. So they were asking him to do a lot more than he's used to, and he crumbled. Now, he's going to get extended by the Giants. That he's going to get paid, and he's going to get another offseason with Brian Dable to work. They're going to get him more weapons, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe he looks a little bit better next year and can develop as a passer. But where he stands right now, he's still not a franchise quarterback. And, we talked about that last week. I feel like we don't have to dive into the nitty-gritty on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, good Lord, man. Philly's a whole other fucking animal. Yeah. Like I said, from top to bottom, that team is perfect. The only thing they're missing, genuinely, the only thing I can nitpick at them is the fact that they don't use a fullback. And even then, they run the ball so effectively without one that it's like just me being weird. Like, there's no real reason for them to add one right now, as much as it hurts me to say it, just because of how good they are running out of 11 personnel.
Yeah.
I mean this in the most respectful way possible. I'm not trying to talk down to you. Do you know what I mean when I say 11 personnel?
I'm assuming you have. No, I'm not even gonna say anything, because you're
okay.
I'm gonna laugh at.
No. I'm not gonna laugh at you.
No, let's go ahead.
Okay, so the number in front of personnel refers to how many backs and how many tight ends there are. So 11 personnel is 1 running back, 1 tight end. 21 personnel is 2 running backs, 1 tight end. 12 personnel is 1 running back, 2 tight ends, et cetera, et cetera.
I was literally going to say that. That's crazy.
There you go. Look at you. I want to use this as a teaching moment. I wasn't trying to talk down
something
to
about
you.
wide receivers, too. I was going to be like,
yeah.
Oh, so you have 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 3 wide receivers.
Well, I mean, you can have 3 wide receivers in an 11 personnel set. Typically, you would.
I'm the goat.
In fact, I think you kind of have to, right? Yeah.
Statistically,
it's a good job. Good job. Look, you knew it. You knew that. You have to have 3 wide receivers in an 11 personnel set, because 1 tight end, 1. Well, wait. Hold on. 5 offensive linemen. Yeah. That's 5. Quarterback, tight end, running back. Yeah. Wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Players. You're right. I had to double check, because when I was counting it first, I forgot the quarterback, and I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, oh, yeah, the most important dude on the field.
Yeah.
He's in there, too. He counts. Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't. I mean, but I'm saying this for the people at home so I don't look like a condescending prick. If I stop and ask him something, it's a teaching moment.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk down to him. He's a big boy. He's capable of learning. He's capable of expanding that noggin of his. And that's what I want to do since I possess a slight amount of football knowledge. But no, I'm not going to. If I say still more than him, that sounds really fucking rude.
No, it's the truth, though.
I know, but it sounds rude.
That's messed up.
Oh my god. Yeah. Anyways, Philly good. Giants getting there.
Yeah,
They're getting there. They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
They made it further than anyone thought they would because Brian Dable's that motherfucking guy.
Yeah.
That's where they're at. Also, the real reason they lost this round, they cut their tight end, or not their tight end, their fullback during the regular season. But they signed him to a futures deal, which means that they have him under contract right now with some weird stipulations. I truly don't know the extent of it. But Chris Myrick, who started out as a tight end and they converted him to fullback during the preseason because Jeremiah Hall, a fullback rookie they picked up at a free agency after the draft, didn't work out.
Oh.
So they're like, fuck it. Myrick, this is your job now. And it was cool because they had a tight end, but it sucked because their tight end wore 85, and that's grody.
That is grody.
It is grody.
Nasty.
Yeah. If you're a fullback and your number isn't between 20 and 49, and you play today, not counting fullbacks of the past where Bronco Nagurski wore 3 and Marion Motley wore 76 and all that weird shit. The modern guys, if you don't wear a number between 20 and 49, fix it. Yeah, you heard me. Andrew Beck, I know you're watching this.
They're scared.
Change your number to 43 or suffer my wrath.
They're scared.
This is a warning. He is quaking in his booth. I don't know why I was so fucking inclined to do this. Anyways, moving on. Were there any games that you did get to watch a little bit of other than that one?
Didn't get to watch?
That you did, because you said you were at the theater festival. I presume you missed most of them.
I watched the 49ers, like the second half.
Okay.
And then I watched the Bengals Bills like first. I watched it like, what's the word? Intermittently.
What is this?
Intermittently. That's what I was trying to think of the word.
Oh, that's how you get your brain to think of words. Down here, not even near your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I watched the highlights of the Jags Chiefs game.
Okay. Yeah, so the Jags Chiefs game, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Big spooky. I think they ruled it a high ankle sprain, which is concerning. But I would still take Patrick Mahomes on one leg over most quarterbacks healthy. So I think the Chiefs will be fine. They're playing Cincinnati next week with them. So I'm excited to see how that'll work, what their game plan is. And that's going to be the big news story of the week. You know, people talking about if he'll even play. He'll definitely play. There's no shot he misses the fucking AFC title game. There's no chance. The doctor could tell him no, and he'd still just walk out on the field. Like, it's not going to happen. And then for Jacksonville, you know, shout out to them. They made it a lot further than a lot of people thought they would, too.
Yeah.
They were, I think I had them picked to go 3-14 going into the year, and I was way off. They managed to not only win their division, but win a playoff game over a team that a lot of people thought was going to be fantastic this season that fell a little bit short. So shout out to Jacksonville. You know, Trevor Lawrence is awesome. Travis Etienne's awesome. Christian Kirk doesn't look overpaid anymore. He's awesome, even though he had a big drop in the Jaguars game, or in the Chiefs game. He did have a big drop, which was unfortunate. Evan Ingram, former New York Giant, kind of had a little career resurgence this year. Their defense is pretty good. Like, yeah, the tight end.
Yeah, I know. You kind of want
Yeah.
It's always so lovely to see somebody that didn't do anything for your team go to another team and then play really good. It's really
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think of a recent example of that for the Bears. Leonard Floyd. He sucked in Chicago, but he's pretty good for the Rams. That sucks. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on this game because this game was kind of a blur for me. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to me during this game. But the Chiefs, they took home the dub. Mahomes played on one leg, again, better than most quarterbacks would fully healthy. So, shout out to him.
I got two things to say. At
Go for it.
my face level, Doug Peterson, the first touchdown for the Jags is like a fantastic play call in terms of Madden, because he Christian Kirk somebody went into motion and Trevor Lawrence recognized it was man, and then it was just a lob ball over the top. So easy, so simple.
I'm really proud of you for knowing that.
Yeah,
I didn't remember that play happened, but that is what happens.
Yeah,
that's a lot of why people do, or a lot of why teams do motion. Actually, is to either throw off the defense or test what coverage they're in. And like you said, if a guy followed Christian Kirk or whoever it was coming across, then that means they're a man. And Trevor Lawrence attacked the one-on-one matchup and won.
Yep.
Good shit, Andrew. Look at you.
Oh yeah.
I'm proud of you. That was good. That was good.
Oh yeah. And then the second thing is Chris Collinsworth was off his rocker this game.
Look, okay, he's the most overhated commentator in sports. Chris Collinsworth gets so much unnecessary shit.
It was hilarious how he was so bipolar with Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence. I thought it was just funny how Trevor drops it in the bucket of Christian Kirk, and he's like, "You overthrown by 60 yards," and then Patrick Mahomes basically fumbles the ball. It's like that's a great play.
Yeah, I mean, look, okay, nobody's perfect. He's gonna get some shit wrong, and I'll put it this way: I'd still rather listen to Chris Collinsworth be wrong than listen to Tony Romo. Period. I can't stand Tony Romo as a commentator, and the fact that people like him more than Collinsworth blows my mind. Because Tony Romo's like, "Hey guys, I was a quarterback one time, so I can read a defense. Here's probably what's going to happen." And then he gets it wrong half of the time. But there's a couple clips of him getting a really simple play right, and everybody fucking lost their minds over it. I'm not saying I'd do any better, but I would imagine just about anybody with quarterbacking experience in the NFL could do exactly what Romo's doing and be a lot less annoying and borderline narcissistic about it. I'm just waiting for Brady to get in the booth so people can see what a real quarterback does, And the fact that he quotes fucking Paw Patrol, anytime Jamar Chase makes a play and he's calling the game, he's like, "Chase is on the case." No, you are a grown-ass man. You do not need to be quoting Paw Patrol, okay? No. Al Michaels never quoted never quoted a kid's show. John Madden, Pat Summerall, none of those guys ever quoted children's shows. Why are you doing it? You're not hip with the kids. You're not fun. You're corny. You're corny and fucking annoying. I hate Tony Romo. I cannot stand him. It is quite annoying.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the other game you said you watched? You watched the Niners game? Bounce around. So you watched the second half?
Yeah.
Did you have any takeaways? You have anything you want to say about that game?
I missed all the boring stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm so happy the Cowboys lost. Period. I mean, the day the Cowboys lose is the day that everyone else celebrates. It's the day the Cowboys fans weep. I don't know. I feel like the Niners are a little less invincible than they were a week ago, especially going up against the Eagles, who just nuked the Giants. Brock Purdy didn't have a touchdown, but he also didn't have an interception.
He should have had 3. He got lucky.
Yeah.
Listen, okay. Not to cut you off. I don't know if you had anything else. If you do, I'll let you continue. Okay.
I was rambling, but yeah.
Okay. I have become a Brock Purdy hater, and I don't like that because I like the Niners and I like Brock Purdy. But he's not that good. People need to stop. Okay. First of all, against the Seahawks, yes, he had 4 touchdowns. he fucking ran in like a 3-yard run. He threw a crossing route to Debo that he took for 70 yards to the house. He has the best supporting cast in football, and he's not really doing anything that impressive.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally doing the bare minimum for the 49ers offense. And everyone's like, that's our guy. That is the savior of the 49ers franchise. Joe Montana, who? We don't need him. We got Brock Purdy. Like, yeah, okay, he's fun. He's a quirked up white boy with a little bit of magic. That's what Brock Purdy is. He's like Taylor fucking Heineke, just a little more accurate and a little less inconsistent. That's all he is. He's a backup running on fumes. I'll put it this way. Brock Purdy's run right now is reminding me way too much of the Nick Foles run for Philly. The only difference being Foles had been in the league and nobody thought a backup could take Philly to the Super Bowl with an elite supporting cast, a great defense, and incredible coaching. And now Brock Purdy was the 7th overall pick that nobody thought could take a team to the Super Bowl, which he hasn't even done yet, with an elite supporting cast, a great defense, and elite coaching. Like it is very, very similar situations. So I'm not buying the Purdy hype. And this game was a good example of why. He did not have a great game. Like you said, he didn't turn the ball over. He put the ball in harm's way quite a few times. So I'm not going to give him credit for getting lucky on a few plays that he didn't turn the ball over. And, I mean, this week, it was the run game. It was the run game. Dallas let them establish the run, and they were cooked. That's what happened. And the 49ers defense stepped up huge. So, like, I'm very angry about the Brock Purdy narratives and discourse online because it's not smart. It's not intelligent. And I'm not saying that like I'm some fucking genius. I'm obviously not. But it doesn't take a genius to see that Purdy isn't that great. But anyways, to talk about the rest of the 49ers, Fred Warner's a fucking freak of nature. He had a crazy play where he was able to not only run stride for stride with a receiver, but break up a pass. George Kittle had one of the coolest, if not the best catch I've ever seen. I don't know if you saw it, where he like tipped it to himself twice and brought it down. The most impressive part about that I'm not seeing anyone talk about, he didn't break stride while he was doing that. Yeah. He was running full speed and still was tipping the ball up to himself with mind you, to get the ball to himself, he had to fully extend his arm. So moving full speed with a fully extended arm, he tips the ball into himself, juggles it a couple times, and comes down with it. That's another example of Brock Purdy getting bailed the fuck out because that ball was overthrown. Yeah. If Kittle doesn't become fucking God on that play, then it's an incomplete pass. And everyone's like, oh my God, Purdy overthrew a wide open Kittle. What is he doing? But instead it's like, oh my God, Purdy just hit Kittle. What a great play. No, Kittle did everything. Purdy just fucking chucked it up, and Kittle made the play. It's I don't know. I love George Kittle, though. George Kittle's my fucking hero. Yeah. Him and Kyle Juszczyk are probably my two favorite non-Chicago Bears players. And I would kill for either of them to wear Bears uniforms. Also, fun fact, not to change the subject, I just want to bring this up. The Bulls just beat the Hawks by 11. They won 111 to 100. Yeah. DeMar had 26 and 6 with 3 steals. Zach LaVine had 20 points. Vooch had a fucking double-double with 14 points and 17 rebounds.
Oh, my God.
Patrick Williams had 18 points, and Caruso had 12 points and 3 steals. So, a shout-out to the Bulls.
W.
I guess. Who was it? I think Javonte Green just got engaged. Shout out to him. Yeah, congratulations. He proposed to his girl in Paris while the Bulls were in Paris. It's pretty cool.
Took advantage of it.
Yeah, the Bulls won in Paris. Zach LaVine said his 2 favorite things about Paris were the win and the wine. So Zach was having a great time.
That's a bar.
That's awesome. Yeah, good for him. But you know who's not in good spirits today? The Dallas Cowboys.
I'm so happy.
They lost, yeah. What do you think about that final play, Andrew? Let me ask you that.
Is it like literally one dude is blocking for Dak.
Where Zeke lined up at center, snapped the ball, and tried to block.
It's actually really stupid. Like, that's the second year in a row that they elect to do a really stupid play for their last play of the season. It's absurd. It is like, why not just do Hail Marys? You know, why not just do a Hail Mary?
Well, in defense of the Cowboys, let me play devil's advocate for a moment. They only had time to run one play, and they wanted to do, the crazy lateral shit that teams do at the end of games. Because the Hail Mary wasn't going to work. Dak would have had to chuck that ball 80 yards. And I don't know if Dak's built for that, quite frankly. Maybe he is. Maybe I'm underestimating Dak's arm strength. I don't think I am, but maybe in some bizarro world, he hits an 80-yard pass. Or maybe they run a Hail Mary to, like, midfield and then start fucking lateral, and then I don't know. But the play design was you wanted a bunch of linemen lined up on one side, and you were going to throw it to a guy on that side, and he'd have a little convoy in front of him, and then he'd be able to lateral it back and all that. What I don't get is why you leave Zeke as the only blocker for your quarterback. Granted, it's not like he was going up against Nick Bosa or a defensive lineman. He went up against a linebacker. But still, the linebacker had a 5 to 10 yard head start, takes off, runs through Zeke, and almost ends up in Dak's laps before he can let the ball go. I'm placing a little bit of the blame on that on Zeke, because Zeke's a good pass blocking running back. He should be able to pick that up. I understand that the guy had a full head start and he had to snap the ball, but in the time it took him to get to Zeke, Zeke was able to get up and get in his stance. Okay, if he's able to get up and get into his stance, he can provide a little resistance. He can do literally anything other than get plowed, okay? Literally anything.
He did get plowed real
literally
bad.
Anything. He could have provided any resistance. Like, I don't know how much you know about pass blocking as a lineman. I know you played, but you were a quarterback, so I'm not sure what you know.
They didn't do much blocking for me, but yeah.
Yeah. That's right. You didn't have an offensive line. I forgot about that. Pass blocking, in that situation, you're kind of letting them use their momentum to go into you, and you're just kind of keeping them back, right? You want to hold them back. So is that guy having all that momentum? Zeke could have planted his foot and kind of let him run into him, absorb the contact, and held him at least a little bit. Instead, or even taking a step back once he hit him so he could keep up with him and get his footing. But instead, he just gets run over. I can tell you right now, any other position, a fullback, a tight end, maybe even, no, I'm not going to go as far to say a receiver. A fullback, a tight end, or an actual offensive lineman doesn't get run over like that. So anyone out there who says that Zeke can play fullback because he's a fat running back, you're wrong. He can't. And that's a good example of why. He's not built for it. He doesn't have the size. He doesn't have the frame. He doesn't have anything to play fullback. That play was a total fucking mess. It was awful. I don't even think they got to lateral the ball, if I'm not mistaken.
Dak dished it off, and the receiver caught it and got immediately tackled.
Right.
In front of the first down.
They picked up a first down. Oh, wait, in front of the first down. Do you mean he got the first down or he was stopped behind?
He stopped behind. He stopped behind.
They didn't even drop a play that could get a first down. Oh, my God. Yeah. See, I've watched that play replayed 100 times, but I always stop it when Zeke gets run over to run it back and see what Zeke did. So I didn't see where the ball actually ended up. That's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dallas is done. There's a lot of questions about Dak and his turnovers. I think he's fine. Dak's a good quarterback. He had a really bad game. I'm not going to lie. He shoulders a lot of the blame for this loss. And maybe you can start to question his ability to win in the playoffs or whatever, but I don't evaluate quarterbacks off of games they win. So it doesn't bother me too much. Kind of is what it is, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'll put it this way. Anyone that thinks that Dallas should move on from Dak immediately is wrong, because finding a legitimate franchise quarterback in this league is next to impossible, and Dak can be a franchise quarterback. You've got way too many holes to plug on your roster as is to be worrying about getting a new quarterback. Give Dak a real head coach, a better play caller, and I think he'll be fine. I don't think Mike McCarthy or Kellen Moore are doing really any favors right now. So I don't know what they'll do. I've seen a lot of people say they should promote Dan Quinn to head coach, and I'm all for that. Dan Quinn's awesome. But I don't know. We'll see. Mike McCarthy should be fired, though. Yeah. Moving on from that, what do we have? The Bills and the Bengals game. I think that's the final game. Yeah, because there were only 4 this week. Did you say you got to watch a little bit of this one? You said you were watching it on and off, kind of?
Yeah.
All right, so do you have any thoughts from this one?
Man, I put this in my notes too when I was watching it. We literally said the exact situation where the Bills lose last week.
What did we say? I can't remember.
Because they were down big, right? Last week. We said and they came back and we were like, if they go down against a team like the Bengals, they're going to be in big trouble. And they went down against a team like the Bengals, and
they were lost. In big trouble.
So
look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And I mean, Josh Allen, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, from what I saw, he had a stinker of a game. A stinker.
Yeah, he didn't have a great game. Yeah. He missed a couple throws. It wasn't as bad as we've seen him towards the end of the year this year, granted, but he did have a couple bad throws. Didn't turn the ball over, I don't think. No, he did. He definitely did throw at least one interception because Cam Taylor-Britt got a pick. So my biggest takeaway from that is I think it's officially time to start questioning whether or not Josh Allen's like the second best quarterback in football anymore. I've been saying for weeks he isn't. I think Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow are better than him at this point, just because Josh Allen's so inconsistent. And now, again, I don't evaluate quarterbacks off wins, but you can start to raise the same question for him that you've been raising for Dak. Can he really win when you get into the postseason? The answer so far has been no. He hasn't gotten past. Did he make it to the? I don't think he made it to the championship game. I think he's been stuck in the divisional round, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. Buffalo's got some things to clean up on defense. They've got some guys that are potentially leaving. They got to boost their pass rush. They got to get Josh Allen more help at receiver. Stephon Diggs was a non-factor in this game, and they don't have a true wide receiver 2. Gabe Davis is like a wide receiver 3 at best. Dawson Knox isn't a great tight end. So until you get some weapons around Josh Allen, I don't think you're going to get very far going forward. And then the Bengals are just fucking awesome. Joe Burrow is the coolest dude on the planet. Somebody, I can't remember who, somebody on Twitter called him Joe Snow because of that game. And I think that's such a sick nickname because he has been he is a cold player. And now, he's thriving in the cold. You put that man in his natural element. You put Joe Burr in the cold. And you expected that man to do anything else but dominate.
Yeah.
He went off. Yeah. And they were getting the run going against the Bills, which is another thing about the Bills. They weren't able to establish the run. I think they had 14 rushing attempts for 1 first down or something like that, which that's just not winning football. So that's rough. That's another thing the Bills got to do. They got to build up their backfield. They got to start running the ball. They got a hell of a fullback. They just aren't running the ball with them enough. And the Bills weren't getting a lot of pressure. That was another thing. Their defensive line is not that good without Von Miller. And this, like I said, with the run game and with the Bills not being able to establish a lot of pressure, this was a game that was won in the trenches. This was an old school, dominate them at the line of scrimmage and everything else will come after type of game, which is surprising given the fact that it's the Bengals who last year, granted they did upgrade their offensive line, but it's banged up right now. Their offensive line has been a big issue for them. And coming into it this week, like I said, with a bit of a banged up offensive line, you wouldn't figure they would be able to, really dominate the trenches like that, but they did. And that was the big difference maker. And plus the Bengals just have more playmakers and Joe Burrow has more options, but it's not even like he was abusing those guys. I think they said by the end of the second quarter, he had thrown the ball to like 7 or 8 different guys.
Yeah,
so they were throwing the ball around. Like it was just a dominant game on all fronts for Cincy, and they're going up against the Chiefs and an injured Patrick Mahomes next week. So we could see the Bengals going to back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds, given what everyone thought the Bengals would be last year, it's not out of the realm of possibility. All right, so I can already tell this is going to be a longer episode because we haven't gotten to our questions yet, and I got quite a few of them this week, actually.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but before we do that, Andrew, there was a trade in the basketball world.
Oh.
Talk about it, because I don't know what this does for either team.
Well, we were saying before the podcast, Rui Hachimura for Kendrick Nunn. And, let me just remind everybody who Rui Hachimura is. He's the dude that keeps getting dunked on, I think. No. He is on the Wizards, though, so that just shows you how irrelevant he is. Then you have
He wears
Kendrick
number
Nunn.
8. That's
Yeah.
what I know.
Yes. He got traded for Kendrick Nunn, who is a Los Angeles Laker, just so everybody can remember that. He got traded for Kendrick Nunn, a 2023 second-round pick, and a 2029 second-round pick. So that just shows you how relevant that trade will be. Rui does have that dog in him. And for some reason, I saw on Twitter that he was saying, like, people asked him if he requested a trade, like as if he was like a huge superstar in the league. I was like, I don't really think so, guys. I don't think he deserves that type of media attention. Yeah, it really doesn't mean much, except for the fact that he just went off for 30 points, apparently. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah, 30 points in 30 minutes against the Magic.
If he keeps doing that, we're going to have to embody the Shaq and Miles Turner situation here on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh,
I apologize. I was unfamiliar with your game. Yeah. I think it was Miles Turner. It was some center in the Miles Turner build or archetype, whatever you want to call it.
Like Jared Allen or like whoever
It was
else.
someone like that. I think it was Miles. I think I'm right on that. But either way, if he keeps having performances like that, good Lord.
I also apologize. I confused Rui Hachimura with Yuto Watanabe because their names are similar in my head for some reason. Yuta Watanabe is the guy that keeps getting jammed on, but
Rui's his teammate.
I don't even know anymore. Watanabe is like a freaking journeyman, but yeah, Rui Hachimura is averaging 13 points per game. Period. That's it.
Yeah, I just want to say we talked about this a little bit before we started recording. The only thing I have to add to this entire situation, because I know nothing about Rui Hachimura at this point in his career, the fact that NBA teams trade picks so far in the future is fucking hysterical to me. Because think about it, 2029, they're trading what'd that be, an 8th grader?
Yeah.
Like a middle schooler. They're trading a potential middle schooler. That's so funny. That is so funny to me.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
Trading a grown man for a potential middle schooler.
For a potential middle schooler, yeah. I mean, maybe there's some fucking 7-foot middle schooler that can hit threes from half court out there, but somehow I doubt it.
He's not falling to the second round, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's not falling to the second round. That we're here. Just wait. Here in 6 years, the Wizards are going to draft the next Jokic, and we're going to look like fucking idiots.
Like 2036, the MVP is going to be, and they're going to be like, he was drafted by the Wizards in the
second round. Of the 2039 or the 2029 NBA draft. Oh my god! Yeah, imagine
the next franchise player,
the next fucking Luka, like that level player.
Yeah.
All right. So now that that's over with, we're going to cut to questions. So as always, if you don't already follow me on Twitter, you should, at Miller Football. I tweet out before we record. I always tweet out, ask us a question. Ask us questions so we can do a little Q&A at the end of the podcast. I think this is fun. Gives us a chance to talk about things maybe we didn't think about. And our first question comes from Chicago Muse. And he asks, why is this the most attractive person in the NFL right now? And Andrew, I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you to tell me what you think. I don't know if this is going to work. It's not gonna work. Okay, I don't know. Is it? Can I get it to work?
No. Is it Joe Burrow? No.
It's Joe Burrow in a fucking Super Mario sweatshirt doing this. He looks goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it just to show off the picture of Burrow, but now it doesn't work, so the whole bit's dead.
Yeah, I hope it's dead.
I don't know. I mean, he's a good looking fella. I can't
Not
lie.
as good looking as Jalen Hurts, unfortunate.
There you go. There you go. What are you gonna do? Andrew just hit you with the facts.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
Jalen
we're gonna
Hurts
move
is
on. We're moving on.
Yeah, a smooth, light-skinned man. I can't contain myself.
He's a smooth, light-skinned man. All right.
Next question.
That's Andrew's quote of the fucking decade right there. He's a smooth, light-skinned man. What else could you want? All right, we got this question about 15 times, but I'm going to go with this one from my boy Jackson Powers, also known as J Powell NFL. Who is your Super Bowl pick at the moment?
Niners.
You think the Niners are going to win it all?
I want the Niners to win it all.
Okay.
Realistically, I don't know, but
okay.
My gut is telling me Niners immediately, but then it's making me think of the Eagles. You know, I don't know. It really depends on Brock Purdy. And
that's valid.
I don't know if he's going to be able to go against the Eagles defense and be as consistent or as decent as he has been. So I think the Eagles, in my opinion. Final answer, Eagles.
Eagles? Okay. See, I'm with you. My heart says the Niners just because I want Kyle Juszczyk to get a ring. But I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl. That's my pick. I just think, I was talking earlier about the Eagles, how they're such a complete... I apologize for that. I keep itching my nose. I got the worst fucking itch in my mustache right now, and I don't know why. I said earlier the Eagles are like the most complete team in the league, and I still agree with that. But I do think the Bengals, their offense is better because Joe Burrow's a better quarterback. They have better weapons. And their offensive line's holding up right now. Good Lord, what the fuck is wrong with my mustache? Anyways, and their defense is awesome. Their defense is absolutely killing it. I would say might actually be better than Philly's. So I just think all around the Bengals are probably the best team left in terms of talent. Like the Eagles are more complete. They don't have as many problems, but the Bengals' talent outweighs that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Cincy. I think Joe Burrow is going to take the city of Cincinnati home a ring, and he's going to cement himself as the coolest quarterback to ever live. White boy of the millennia, if you will. Or millennium, sorry. All right, next question. We got a question from my boy Jarrett. And Andrew, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this one necessarily, but maybe you can. Maybe you'll surprise me. Who is your number one Bears free agent target, and why is it Deron Payne? What free agent do you hope the Bears sign, Andrew?
Fucking, I don't know. I don't even know free agents, dude.
Hold on. Why don't you Google some free agent names real quick?
I was gonna say the first one. The pop.
Yeah. Why don't you? No. On your phone. Check your phone. Google it on your phone.
Oh no! I just looked it up on my computer. And it says no. I'm not even saying that.
You don't want to see Saquon Barkley in a Bears uniform?
I would puke in my mouth. Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't
Fuck
care.
you. Fuck you. I deserve
Jimmy
that.
Garoppolo.
I deserve that. You dick.
For anyone wondering, he said, "Yeah, that's unbelievable. I can't.
Yeah.
Just like
Anyways, I do agree with Jared. I want it to be Deron Payne. And it's just because the Bears need a real disruptor in the middle of their defensive line. I'm very much, as of right now, in the Will Anderson camp for the draft. I mean, ideally, I want the Bears to trade down and just take the best available. But if I had to pick, I would want Will Anderson. So that gives you some help on the edge. We need to get a guy inside that's a true disruptor. We see a lot of teams benefiting from these big name defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen, guys like Chris Jones, Aaron Donald, Dexter Lawrence for the Giants. Fletcher Cox for all these years. Like, there's a lot of great interior defensive linemen. Hell, even Deron Payne's teammate, Jonathan Allen, I forgot his first name for a second. They're all studs. You need that interior pressure, and I think Deron Payne can come in and help the Bears with that. Plus, he's a pretty good run defender. So the Bears just need to fix their defensive line because it is fucked. And I think Deron Payne would be a big splash pickup for the Bears on their defensive line. Plus, I would rather focus on edge in the draft rather than focus on interior defensive line, just because I like the interior defensive line free agents a bit more right now than the edge free agents. And Deron Payne would probably be my pick for like number one free agent signing, which was the question that I already answered, and I decided to answer again. Next up, we've got a question from AJ. And Andrew, calm down, okay? Don't get too excited when I say his name. Can Justin Fields have a breakout season similar to Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I think he can as well. We saw Jalen Hurts last year, the narrative surrounding him. He's a great runner, but he can't throw the ball. The Eagles get some talent around him, go out, trade for a number one wide receiver, and now Hurts looks like a top 5 quarterback. He was an MVP candidate for a lot of the year. I don't want to say he's going to jump himself into like MVP conversations next year, but maybe he will. I think Justin Fields is a better pure athlete than Jalen Hurts. He's definitely a better runner. Fields might be the best runner in football, period. He has a stronger arm than Hurts. It's just, the down stuff isn't quite there. And because of that, or that's a result of rather a weak supporting cast. So if they can build up the offensive line a little bit in free agency, get him that number one target in the draft and or in the draft or via trade, whatever you plan on doing, then yeah, I think he can definitely elevate himself into a Jalen Hurts type of breakout. I don't have a doubt in my mind that he could pull that off.
Yeah.
I think Fields can be fucking awesome. And maybe that's the Bears homer in me. I've got the jersey on my hat and my sweatshirt, but I do think he can. I absolutely think he can. And then to piggyback off that, my boy Jake, also known as Jake Talks Sports, asks, would I want DeAndre Hopkins in Chicago as a Diggs or Jamar Chase or Justin Fields? No. Absolutely not. D-Hop, great wide receiver, but he's aging, obviously, and I want somebody that's going to grow with Fields. I'll put it this way. I'm not going to be pissed if the Bears go out and get D-Hop because I can't imagine he's going to be super expensive given his age and the fact that he's coming off a big suspension and what he was traded for when he was actually in his prime. So I wouldn't hate it. I would be okay with it, but he wouldn't be my first choice. My first choice will be somebody younger that can develop with Justin, be here for a long time, kind of like we're about to see when Jamar Chase gets a big extension in Cincinnati and he's there with Burrow, or like Diggs is doing right now with Josh Allen. He needs somebody younger that can develop with him and grow with him over time, not somebody who's going to be here for like 2 years and then dip.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. Let's see here. My boy Bat Duck, also known as Grayson, asks, is it time to move on from Dak? Already technically answered this one earlier in the episode. No, absolutely not. It's really hard to find a franchise quarterback in the NFL, and the Cowboys can run it back with Dak if they build up his supporting cast rather than try to go out and get a new quarterback. So no, getting rid of Dak would be a mistake. Let's look here. There's a lot of draft questions here, and I'm going to be honest with you. I can't answer them right now. I have not watched any NFL draft prospect film as it stands outside of Hunter Lepke from North Dakota State University, who is my number one fullback. So unless you're going to ask me questions about Hunter Lepke, I can't help you at this very moment. Unless, Andrew, have you been diving into the college tape?
No.
No. Okay. Well, there's your answer. To anything you're going to ask, we don't know.
No.
Maybe we're bad content creators for not knowing yet, but we don't know. We got lives. We haven't started yet. I will soon, and when I have that, I'll answer all your questions and more. I'll make TikToks. I'll make YouTube videos. I'll make fucking tweets. I'll do a Twitter space and answer questions live. I'll come to your doorstep and with my laptop and be like, here's the tape. Here's why so-and-so is better than your favorite prospect. I'll do whatever you want. I just haven't started yet. We're just not there yet. So hold your horses. Okay, I would love to tell you if Michael Mayer's a better draft prospect than Kyle Pitts, Mr. UNC fan Krusty, or if what's this other question? And I would love to tell you, AJ, who's the better draft prospect between Anthony Richardson or Will Levis, but I don't know. And I'm not going to speak on something I don't know. That's not my thing. We keep it 100 around these parts. So after that's out of the way, we got a couple more. The legendary Walter White Seal has another question for us.
Yeah.
Fucking number one fan of the podcast right there next to my own mother, Walter White Seal. Book it. How much longer will the Buffalo Bills, the Buffalo Bradley Beals, how much longer will the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window be open? It's a great question. And truthfully, I think they're in a weird spot. I would have to sit down and, look at where their contracts are at and whatnot. I don't know who's about to expire and whatnot, but there's a lot of older pieces on this team, especially on the defense. Matt Milano's not getting any younger. Von Miller's obviously old. Their top two safeties are both older. Trey White doesn't look the same. He tore his ACL, hasn't looked the same since. Their offensive line's starting to struggle a little bit. They don't have a run game. And, Josh Allen's starting to show signs of inconsistency, which I'm not saying that that's going to take them out. So I would say they're a team that's probably going to have to start retooling sooner rather than later. So I would say their window for being that team in the AFC, if you want to call them that, is probably closed. I think this offseason they're going to have to address some things because they do have some. I know for a fact Tremaine Edmonds is going to be a free agent, and that's a huge blow if they lose him, which is very possible. I don't know if they're going to be willing to pay him the money he can get. So I would say their window is closed, but as long as you have Josh Allen, nothing's off the table. So they're probably still going to be a playoff team. I just don't know if they're going to be making any runs anytime soon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really don't see them being better than the Chiefs or the Bengals anytime soon, especially because the Chiefs are supposed to have a down year this year. And by all, well, I don't know the word. Looking at their roster, you would assume that they would be having a down year compared to other years. So I think that the Chiefs are only going to get better. The Bengals are only going to get better. Any other AFC team is going to get better. And the Bills look like they're fixing to take us a couple steps back. Yeah,
I agree completely. Especially when you see some of these other AFC teams that are kind of on the rise just within their own division. I mean, the Jets and Dolphins both looked promising this year. The Dolphins gave them a run with a third-string quarterback. If Tua gets healthy and they can make a couple moves this offseason, the Dolphins could very much win that division next year. The Jets, they go out and get a quarterback. I'm seeing a lot of Jets fans wanting Aaron Rodgers. If he's a Jet next year, they can win that division. So there's a lot going against Buffalo right now, as much as I'm sure their fans hate to hear it. So I don't know. I would say their window's probably closed for now, but I don't think it's going to be closed for long, because when you have Josh Allen, eventually you're going to be able to jump back and figure something out. You'll be able to do some rebuilding and whatnot. Not even rebuilding, just some retooling. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, my boy Mason, the Sports Lion, asks, is Cameron Cheeseman the best long snapper ever? No. That is Patrick Manley. End of discussion.
Yeah.
Andrew knows who Patrick Manley is.
I know who both those people are.
Yeah. A lot of these are what do you want the Bears to do this offseason? What do you want the Bears to do what kind of draft picks do you want the Bears to get in return for trading down? I'm not good at estimating value on trades. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think anyone really is. I don't think nobody knows what's going to happen in an NFL trade. There's a lot that goes into it. Teams are going to value players a hell of a lot differently than the average fan does. Same thing with draft picks. Teams can come out of nowhere and do some crazy shit. Realistically, who thought DeAndre Hopkins would get traded for David Johnson and a bag of Skittles? Nobody saw that coming. Maybe you saw Hopkins getting traded, but you didn't think he'd get traded for that return. So I could sit here and say I want the Bears to get 3 first-round picks, a wide receiver, an edge rusher, the fucking state capital of whatever team trades for them, a defensive coordinator, and $12. But I don't know. Again, I truthfully don't know. The trade package I'm seeing a lot of people come up with is like trading down with the Colts for 3 first-round picks. That'd be sick. Don't know how realistic it is. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say I think that's what's going to happen, but that would be sick as fuck. So, truthfully, I don't know. And then, what do I want the Bears to do this offseason? My boy Dominic is asking that. I'm not going to try to say your last name because I know I'm going to butcher it, and I don't want to be a dick. I'm just bad with names. I have to say this every fucking week. I'm just bad with names. Yep. He says, truthfully, what do you want the Bears to do? I want the Bears to get better. No, in all seriousness, I want them. Yeah, hot take. I want my football team to be better next year. No, truthfully, I want them to do whatever it takes to make Justin Fields' life easier and to put us closer to competing with him at the helm. He is our guy. He is the franchise quarterback, the big savior we've been looking for. So you need to get playmakers around him. You need to make sure defenders aren't in his lap after 0.2 seconds. And you need to make sure the defense can get shit done so he's not put into really, really bad offensive field position. Make sure he's not trying to win every game at the last second. You got to do whatever it takes. I would say this offseason, prioritize the offensive line over everything just because that was very clearly the problem. Like, even if you want to sit here and talk about Justin Fields takes too long to throw, blah, 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 a better offensive line makes that less of an issue. You know, if he sits back there and runs around and dances, but he's got guys up front that can help him, then he'll be fine. You need to focus on offensive line, getting him a true number one that he can rely on, because right now it's Cole Kmet. I love Cole Kmet. He should not be leading our team in receiving yards right now. He's not that type of guy. I don't think he'll ever be that type of guy. I think he's more of a consistent security blanket that you can dump the ball off to, and he's going to fight. He's going to get you the tough yardage, that type of thing. He's not Travis Kelce. He's not George Kittle. He's like that next step down. And that's okay. But you got to go out, you got to get him a true number one, or at least somebody he can rely on. You know, he didn't have that this year at receiver. Mooney was kind of reliable. He got hurt. Chase Claypool, he got hurt. So he was throwing to fucking Equinemius St. Brown, Dante Pettis. You know, you've heard this roster about 30 different times a day if you follow Justin Fields' discourse at all. You know, it's a mess. So what we need to do, what I want the Bears to do, is make his life easier. And also, and you know, that includes building up the defense, because I know I'm very much vouching for taking a defensive player in the first round, just because that's where most of the value is at right now. Like in the draft, you take BPA. No matter what, you take BPA. And sitting in the top 4, that's probably going to be a defensive player. So I think that's everything, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, those are all of the questions. So, Andrew, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, there you go. Under an hour and 20 minutes. Look at that. We're starting to make these things more condensed.
Wow.
But they're still just as hectic.
Yep.
Mr. I want a sword.
Sorry. I'm telling the truth.
I mean, I respect it. I respect the hustle. Yep. Just out of curiosity, you got any other funky little notes in there you can share before we go? Because I know people save some weird shit in their notes.
Oh, notes? Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, I got I don't know if I told you about this, but in 2K21, I made a thing where it started in 1984, and I simulated up until the modern day, and I kept notes of it. Yeah. Like of who was winning MVP and all that stuff. Guess who the GOAT is?
Michael Jordan.
Time? No. He didn't even win a championship, actually. Yep.
Is it somebody completely off the wall?
Basically, yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo.
No.
I don't know why I said his name like that, but I love Dikembe Mutombo. Sam Bowie.
No. Like a player that played in the 2000s.
Oh. Guard, forward, or big?
Guard.
Said it's off the wall. Rip Hamilton?
No. Guard for I'll give you another hint. Guard for the Wizards.
Gilbert Arenas?
Yes.
The dude who fucking pulled out a gun in a locker room?
Guess how many MVPs you won?
6.
8 in a row.
Shit. Alrighty. Good for Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah. I always do long, like, sports sims like that. Like, I had a 49ers franchise that's like in its 25th year right now.
That's valid.
I just love it, you know?
That's valid. All right, well, the weirdest thing I have in my notes, just to bring it up, I had a YouTube video idea that I still haven't done. Maybe I'll do it one day. It's Akinator, but with fullbacks. I saw, I think it was probably Kenny Beecham making an Akinator video, and I was like, yo, what if I did that with fullbacks at like 4 a.m? And now I'm like, who's going to watch that?
Every single person that watches your TikTok?
Ah, yes. All 10,000 people will migrate to YouTube.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be sick?
Yeah. That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
I've always dreamed, for some reason, like my dream sub count is like 10,000.
That's it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, I want to be one of those YouTube channels that has like 100,000 followers. That's it.
Just real low key.
Yeah.
But then you don't make the money.
They're still on like the I don't do it full time, so it's like a passion project thing.
Oh, it's a passion project. Yeah. This is a passion project, and this episode's sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you all know, once I can monetize this bitch, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a broke college student.
We've been doing this for the money the entire time.
Yeah. We don't care about sports. We don't watch this shit. We just watch Stay Hot and steal their takes.
Exactly. That's simple. We found the good algorithm to make.
Oh yeah, the great algorithm. All 30 views that we get on these.
All 30 views that we get on these, and we've been doing it for a year and a month.
On and off with a lot of breaks.
Yeah, we have 28. We're at episode 28.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 28 after a year and a month.
How many weeks are in a year, Andrew?
52.
Let's go.
Yeah, baby. We didn't film a podcast there for like 3.5 months, though. So.
Yeah. In all fairness, we have excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, seriously, I will monetize this bitch when I can. I'm a broke college student. And Andrew also likes money, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
He likes it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
And that reminds me, too, I got to start putting these back up on Spotify.
We need that 10 cents for episode.
Ah, yeah. 10 cents per episode via Anchor. All right, well, we accidentally went over an hour 20. I thought we were going to stay under, and we went over. But fuck it.
Knew we were going to go over it.
We ball.
Under an hour 25.
Anyways, what's the question for today? We need something for the algorithm. What's your favorite movie starring LeBron James? Let us know in the comments down below. Is it Trainwrecked? Is it Space Jam 2? I think those are the two options.
Yep.
Which one do you like more? You can go wrong either way. You can go wrong because they're both awful movies.
Yeah.
But let us know in the comments which one you like more. And that's all.
Yep.
Anyways, thank you all for watching. You're all wonderful people. I fucked up my outro. Hold on. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it because you're all wonderful people and you deserve it.